The Walt Disney Company are leaders within the theme park industry, and it's not hard to see why. Right from the moment that Walt Disney opened his first park, Disneyland, in 1955, the company has remained at the forefront of theme park pioneering. From the largest innovations right down to the tiniest detail, Disney thinks of everything. And the perfect example of this is the Disney trash can. The trash can's uniform shape, featured at every Disney park across the globe, has been present within the parks almost right from the start. Today, the Disney trash can has garnered appreciation from fans that has even led to these garbage-holding objects having their very own merchandise. Walt Disney was inspired to build Disneyland after realizing that there was a lack of family-friendly places for him to visit during the weekends with his daughters. At the places Walt Disney did visit with his daughters, cleanliness and hygiene were not a top priority. Litter was not uncommon within local parks, and such uncleanliness alarmed Walt Disney and his wife Lillian. When Walt, unsatisfied with his amusement park experiences, announced his plans to build Disneyland to his wife Lillian, she almost immediately queried why Walt would want to build such an unclean place. To this, Walt is said to have simply responded that his wouldn't be. Thus, cleanliness and the goal to be better than all the rest became Walt's top priorities for Disneyland. Walt's method to combat the problem of litter was no simple or careless task. He conducted research into the matter, giving the problem of trash the kind of care and attention that we have come to expect from Disney parks today. There are multiple versions of the story regarding his method of research. Some say that Walt measured the distance that it took him to finish eating a hot dog whilst walking away from a food stand. Others have claimed that Walt conducted a more extreme form of research, removing all the trash cans from Main Street and handing out candy to guests, to then watch and count how far people would walk before dropping their candy wrappers on the floor. I personally believe that the hot dog story sounds more realistic, but the candy wrapper experiment is certainly rather amusing to consider. Either way, Walt discovered that in order to stop people from feeling the need to carelessly toss their trash cans must be located every 30 feet. As this was the average distance it took a person to walk from the location they purchased their food or began eating until they finished it and thus needed to throw their trash away. No matter which version of the story you choose to believe, it is the perfect example of Walt Disney's incredible innovation. Walt knew that he couldn't change people's behaviour, that however hard he tried, littering was an unfortunate act that some people would always choose to do. Thus, he didn't put up signs, as was common, to ask people not to litter. Instead, he accounted for this tendency and tried to design the parks around this. He accepted the flaws of people and used his innovation to assist better guest behaviour. The 30 feet rule is still in practice today, with thousands of trash cans carefully placed throughout the Disney park. In Walt Disney World's Frontierland alone, there are over 120 trash cans. It may sound like one of those weird Disney myths, but the park themselves have confirmed it to be true. So next time you're in a Disney park, give it a measure. We promise it should only take you approximately 30 feet to get from one trash can to the next. In the 1950s, the typical trash can design featured metal mesh and an open top. Walt noticed that this porous design would melt the trash inside on hot days, causing a vile odour and trash to seep through the mesh. Walt knew he needed to solve this problem for Disneyland's trash cans. Always the innovator, Walt Disney therefore did not only come up with the perfect method of placing trash cans around the park, he also came up with the perfect design. In order to stop this horrid stench intruding on guests' happy time at Disneyland, Walt decided to come up with a trash can design that would prevent smells from escaping. This trash can, the same design used today, was rectangular with a lid and two flaps either side. These flaps would remain tightly closed until someone pushed them open to place trash inside the trash can, and then they would swing back shut. This would make it so the smell couldn't escape and guests couldn't see the trash inside. This idea may sound like an obvious solution to those of us who are now so familiar with this design, but Disneyland was actually the very first place to use a trash can that featured a lid and flaps to conceal its contents. This design is of course still present in the parks today, alongside slightly altered or repurposed versions. These include a recycling version that has a small bottle-shaped hole instead of flaps, a towel return bin, guide mat recycling, liquid disposal, and pizza box bins. There were even large bottle-shaped bins at Epcot for a short while. At Disneyland Paris, see-through trash cans are located in guest parking areas which are outside of security screening zones. These are the only Disney trash cans that make their contents visible and are designed this way for safety purposes. This design is not only recognizable today for its presence in Disney parks, Walt's idea has pretty much become the basis for modern trash can designs. Interestingly, Walt actually tried to sell this design to manufacturers at the time, but nobody took him up on this offer. Instead, Walt was forced to create the trash cans himself, as no one recognized the revolutionary power of his design. Unfortunately, this discouragement also deterred Walt from foreseeing his design's success, and therefore he never patented the idea. Today, however, the entire industry recognizes the genius of Walt's idea and are able to freely utilize it themselves. A common rumor regarding the design of Disney trash cans states that each Disney trash can has a hole underneath that all trash bags are automatically disposed into. Now, Disney may have come up with some incredible trash can innovations, but this is not yet one of them. This rumor seems to stem from the AVAC garbage system used in Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. The Magic Kingdom has a series of utility corridors or utilidors underneath the park. These utilidors are home to cast member locker rooms, cafeterias, and stock merchandise storage. They are also home to the AVAC system, the Automated Vacuum Assisted Collection System. The AVAC was invented in Sweden, and its use at the Magic Kingdom was the first of its kind in the US. Today, another is also located on Roosevelt Island in New York. The AVAC is a system of large tubes that move trash bags at 60 miles per hour from the utilidors to the main holding area for trash, which is actually located behind Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It is reported that this system moves an average of 80,000 pounds of garbage every day from Magic Kingdom alone. According to the Reedy Creek Improvement District, which oversees Walt Disney World operations, more than 110,000 tons of solid waste were discarded by the resort in 2017. The AVAC system is certainly interesting, but I hope this has squashed anyone's fears of falling into a Disney trash can and being sucked down a tube into the garbage pile. Walt Disney's trash can idea was undoubtedly genius, but even the most perfectly placed trash cans won't stop some people from leaving trash on the ground. Or perhaps worse, even the most perfectly placed trash cans can overflow. In order to combat these eyesores, the Custodial of Tomorrow program was created. Through this program, there are always cast members walking the parks each day with an iPhone that utilizes GPS to notify them when a trash can becomes full, or even if a bathroom gets dirty. The closest cast member receives a message telling them where and what needs to be cleaned, enabling these problems to be solved immediately. Even over 60 years after Disneyland opened, the parks remain at the forefront of trash disposal, although this program is not always fast enough to keep up with the overflowing volumes of trash on particularly busy days. In recent years, Disney has made a great effort to go green. Animal Kingdom and Epcot both place an emphasis on issues like conservation and renewable energy. In regards to their trash, Disney have recycling bins all across their properties, and even have teams who hand-sort trash to separate recyclables. The company is also aiming to reduce their overall waste by eliminating single-use plastics and other unnecessary waste. Compostable utensils were recently introduced at Animal Kingdom. Eateries with these, such as Restaurantosaurus, have also been updated with a new set of recycling trash cans. These locations now have 3 trash cans: a trash, a recycle, and the newest addition, a compost trash can. Design is important beyond just practicality when it comes to Disney parks. Theming and immersion remain one of the company's top priorities even when it comes to trash cans, and their uniform design is the perfect blank canvas for Imagineers to showcase their creativity upon. These trash cans must seamlessly blend within their respective areas, becoming a part of the fantasy facade of Disney parks. In Toy Story Land, the trash cans are made to look like they are made of colourful blocks. In Pandora, the world of Avatar, they are designed to appear as if they have been provided by Ace, the fictional eco-tour company that leads expeditions to Pandora. In Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the trash cans feature the fictional language Arabesh. Each trash can says, "Trash to Sector 3263827, a reference to the Death Star trash compactor Luke, Leia, and Han get stuck in Star Wars A New Hope. Trash cans at Disney are multifunctional in many ways, sometimes not on purpose, such as when you are forced to use one as a table during an Epcot food festival, and sometimes on purpose, as special types of entertainment.
Ah, Camilla, hon, here we are at last, just the two of us. Now, what would you like to see first? The Wonders of Life exhibit, or the ocean thing over there? What's that? Whoa, it's a used paper cup exhibit. Boy, these Disney people are always on the cutting edge. Camilla, look at those bent drinking straws. Oh, yeah.
There are a surprising number of trash cans that have featured at Disney parks over the years that aren't actually meant for the disposal of trash. There are pin-trading trash cans that feature pin boards and bubble cans that blow bubbles at passing guests. In 2013, for Tokyo Disneyland's 30th anniversary, a trash can even featured in an art display in Disney Sea's Mysterious Island. A more traditional-looking trash can even be seen as a drum in Epcot's Jaminator's show. But most famous of all is Push the Talking Trash Can. Push was created by Daniel Deutsch and debuted on February 18, 1995 in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Push was a radio-controlled Tomorrowland trash can, whose control system was hidden inside beneath a trash bag. Push was discreetly operated by a pair of cast members in plain clothes, one with a remote control to operate the robot's movement, and one with a microphone to provide the voice. Push would roll around telling jokes and interacting with guests in his robotic voice, often asking to try on guests' hats and glasses. In 1998, Push learned Japanese and began to appear in Tokyo Disneyland. He also appeared at the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim, painted brown for the Grizzly Gulch area of California Adventure. In Hong Kong, he appeared speaking English, Cantonese, and Mandarin, and in Disneyland Paris as a Walt Disney Studios trash can, speaking both English and French. Push also achieved quite a lot in his lifetime, besides just learning all these languages. He danced with Michael Jackson, who was reported to have offered to buy him, and he even unofficially ran for mayor of Tomorrowland.
My name is Push, the talking trash can, from Tomorrowland. And speaking of Tomorrowland, as many of you know, I am running for mayor of Tomorrowland.
Unfortunately, Push was retired from the Magic Kingdom in February 2014. Pippa, the talking recycling can, utilised the same technology as Push and ran Rafiki's Planet Watch in Animal Kingdom, encouraging guests to recycle. Pippa, meaning container in Swahili, debuted in 1999 and was retired in 2009. In 2017, Shanghai Disney Resort introduced Zhao Tao, their own version of Push. Zhao Tao was part of Shanghai Disneyland's Earth Day message to encourage conservation. Although not quite as technically impressive as Push and Pippa, another talking trash can did in fact outlast their presence within the US park. At Epcot's Electric Umbrella quick service restaurant, an automatic trigger would make one of the trash cans talk as you threw garbage inside. This trash can could not roam around and only had a limited number of phrases that it would say. But unfortunately, as part of Epcot's multi-year transformation, the Electric Umbrella closed on February 15, 2020, and the talking trash can went with it. But thankfully, in August 2022, a similar talking trash can returned once again to Epcot. and this can be found inside the Odyssey, where it remains to maintain the talking trash can legacy. Disney certainly recognised the popularity of their trash cans, so much so that they have deemed them merchandise worthy. Disney has released a number of trash can merchandise items, including pins, highlighters, phone cases, shirts, Christmas ornaments, model trash can kits, and salt and pepper shakers. Even the Disneyland train station Lego kit features a tiny Lego trash can. Beyond just souvenir tokens to symbolise their love of Disney trash cans, it has become the goal of many fans to actually own one of these. But it's certainly not a cheap piece of memorabilia. In the December 2020 Van Eaton Gallery's auction of vintage Disney items, an MGM Studios trash can sold for $10,000. When Disneyland opened in 1995, a new era of theme park cleanliness began. Walt Disney certainly seemed to recognize the importance of the trash can, but it's hard to believe that he could have imagined the robots and merchandise his design would eventually spawn. Walt recognized the importance of small details, and his innovative work is definitely appreciated by fans today. The Disney trash can is certainly obscure, but so widely loved, and with a pretty interesting history. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment and let us know what your favourite style of Disney trash can is. I'd also really appreciate it if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, checked out some of my other videos and the links in the description.